let's judge these banned cards and see if they're worthy of being pulled off the list or not. Hello everyone and welcome back to another Can This Card Be Unbanned video. So today, before we kick things off, there's a couple things I want to talk about. First off, a couple comments from the last video concerning a couple of the cards that you had discussed. The first one, of course, I'll be putting it on the screen, was about Beryllian Fusion. And looking over the comment, I do remember the vanilla. I now remember the vanilla Gem Knight card that people would say that was a brick if you had it in your hand, because you would always need it in the deck, and only, what was it, one copy of it. But it was banned because more so because of Gem Knight, Seraph Knight. I will also splash that card on the screen for a few seconds, for a moment or so. But yeah, it was more so because of also Plant as well, which I do have the gold one, but whatever. That was not too long before they actually banned Plant Anaconda. So yeah, and the other one is about Chaos Ruler. Now this one, I wasn't too sure on, because I never really remembered seeing the card itself, and it was because of milling capabilities. Yeah. Once again, I will leave this up on screen for you to read. And it contributed to another archetype as well. So, yeah. The next thing I wanted to talk about was the other thing was about the updated ban list. Now, the recent video was made before the latest ban list. And yes, I am well aware of the one card that was pulled off of it, that being Arch Nemesis Protoss. Now, I did mention this to someone over Discord, and I was reminded of the recently added archetype of Snake Eyes. And Snake Eyes is a mono pyro archetype, where it is an archetype that can special summon itself. Yeah. And others from the deck. Oh boy, yeah. That's why a lot of people were trying to call for it to get banned. Was if you had one of them that had the effect of it being normal or special summon from your hand, you can just add another one straight from the deck. And then if you added that one with the effect of outside of the draw phase, you can just special summon that one. So yeah. Now, Arch Nemesis Protoss can actually deal with that on its own, though other effect negating cards can also do that with fewer resources. But I believe this is, I want to say Protoss is probably a lot more efficient about going around doing it. So yeah. Now, I did mention it in my last video, in the first video, but I did think, oh, maybe they would add an errata to it. But whatever. And that means they'll probably reprint it later on this year or early next year. So, be as it may. Protoss is back. And with that, let us go to today's cards. Now, like I mentioned last time, I didn't scroll all the way down, so we're going to jump into the trap ones, leading up to where we were with, was it letter D? So, trap card, the first one, Appointer of the Red Lotus. So, Appointer of the Red Lotus is a regular trap card, and its effect is you pay 2,000 life points and reveal your entire hand. Look at your opponent's hand and banish one card from their hand until your opponent's next end phase. Now, with the speed on which the game is being played at, life point cost doesn't seem as important anymore. So that could, I think that might have been one of the reasons why it was banned, apart from having a card from either your or your opponent's hand being gone for one whole cycle. Now, since it's a normal trap card, your opponent during their turn can respond to it with a counter or a quick play card if it was not the activator's first turn. Now, with this matter, actually, yeah, if you played Cosmic Cyclone, it negates the card, and you still have to pay the life point cost. So you're down 2k, and yeah, your opponent didn't lose a card. So, yeah. Now, as far as nowadays, I believe Cosmic Cyclone is definitely been deemed a staple card that most decks would want to play, or at least a fair number of them would want to play. So, having a Pointer of the Red Lotus in play, again, I don't know if it would make much of a difference. If not, then I can see this being brought back at one copy. But if it did, I would see it being brought back with an errata of you can only be played once per duel, with it being at just one. So, honestly, this is more of a toss-up, depending on how it would affect the game. So, yeah. The next card for today is Branded Expulsion. Once again, a normal trap card. By the way, both of these do not have just any inherent protection. So, yeah. Tribute one fusion monster, then target two non-fusion monsters that are banished and or in either graveyard. Special summon both monsters, one on each field. If you tributed a monster that mentions Fallen of Albaz as material to activate this card, you can special summon both monsters to your field instead, in defense position. You can only activate one branded expulsion per turn. So, the branded archetype is rife with a lot of fun things that, yeah, a lot of fun cards. And being able to go +2 for the cost of just one monster is pretty goddamn strong, and I think might have been one of the reasons why it got banned. Now, for this card to see play again, I can honestly believe that an errata has to come into effect, to where if you were able to bring it back to your side of the field for both monsters, or actually either way, if you are able to bring back the monsters, the effects of the monsters have to be negated and cannot be tributed. I can see that being a pretty reasonable way to bring this card back. Now, fusion, whatever, but the effects can't be negated. It has to be negated. And say if you brought back Albaz the Ashen, it would just become an 1800 beat stick, because it does mention Fallen of Albaz in its artwork, in its text box. So yes, so that would be it can come back, but it has to be errata'd. So now for the next one, which will be a Magik card, and it is Cold Wave. Cold Wave is a normal Magik card that has the effect of: this card can only be activated at the start of main phase 1. Until your next turn, neither you nor your opponent can play or set any Magik or trap cards. This one, I believe, was a problem even back when it first came out, and this is a 1-for-1 to the episode during the oh my goodness, the virtual arc in the anime, where Kronk, I believe his name was, the penguin, uses against Taya on his first turn, because she was going to beat him really fast if that was going to happen. So, yes, so in the card game itself, the real-life card game itself, honestly, I can see this being still banned. However, there is one catch. This card does not have any inherent protection, and it is spell speed 1. So it can be responded to if you have negates of any sorts. However, if it goes off, then your opponent, or you, depending on who plays it, are pretty much fucked. So, yeah. Now, I'm not sure if an errata'd could solve this one or not. I believe by now they would have attempted to, but regardless, I would say a hard pass and no for this card. Just keep it on the ban list. It has nice artwork, but no. Just no. So, for the last one for today is the Link Monster. And this Link Monster is Curious the Lightsworn Dominion. So, Curious the Lightsworn Dominion is a Link 3 Light Warrior Link Monster with the effect of 3 monsters with the same attribute but different types. If this face-up card is destroyed by battle or leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect while its owner controls it, you can target 1 card in your graveyard. Add it to your hand. You can only use each of the following effects of Curious the Lightsworn Dominion once per turn. If this card is link summoned, you can send 1 card from your deck to the graveyard. If a card or cards are sent to the deck, sent from the deck to the graveyard by an effect, send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard. Now, going by this card's effect, this is going by the fact that the Lightsworn is a deck milling deck. This one card's effect is pretty damn good. With its original effect, flavor text in its text box. I think it's probably the best one, which would make sense. It's banned. Now, as far as bringing it back to the game, there would have to be an errata. Now, it wouldn't be to its two effects that you can do. I would say the change would be to change the word each in the sentence right before the two effects from each to either, which would cause the player with the monster to choose which play to do that turn, which means you can't send 4 cards to the graveyard on that turn. At most, you could probably send 1 or 3. So yeah. Well, it would still be 3 on your opponent's turn, but you can't initiate the other one. Now, if this is not a good enough effect, I'm not sure. If it's not good enough, I would say keep it banned. Or have the second effect be once per duel. I'm not sure. This one's a toss-up overall. So, yeah. Either way, that's going to do it for me today. Next time, I think I'll be up to par, up to where we need to be. Now, as far as the newer cards on the ban list, I will not be touching them for an entire cycle. So, probably 2 cycles. It all depends. But anyways, till next time, everybody. Goodbye.